All his life, Steve Jobs was teaching us how to think and grow rich. All he needed was a thought. He was willing to think and not take the easy road in life where you are just a robot and do what you are told. Apple products are now used on social media, design, art, photo, school learning and music, or even spaceship design. So there is this endless sea of possibilities. He planted an idea, and that idea was slowly growing into a product, and that product was slowly reaching millions of people and changing their lives. A really big spider's web. It's a complicated and noisy world, and we are not going to get a chance to get people to remember much about us. No company is. So we have to be really clear about what we want them to know about us. Apple was able to reinvent products that were already on the market, and got customers to think they had never seen anything like them before. An example is the common MP3 player we designed into a whole brand new iPod. The reality is that people don't know what they want. As Henry Ford said, if I'd asked my customers what they wanted, they would have told me a faster horse. So you can't give a student in physics a linear accelerator. You can't give a student in biology a $5 million setup. But you can simulate those things on a very powerful computer. Steve Jobs was simply providing a tool for the heart, as he said. So he was not just selling a product, he was selling a dream. He was selling the future. If you're passionate about art, mathematics, or space, you can use his tool to help you achieve your dream. He didn't know specific details about specific domains. He knew about people and what drives them. He had a clear vision. Design matters. Back in the days, the first real competitor of Apple was Microsoft. Jobs said about Microsoft that the only problem is that they just have no taste. So although Microsoft had a good computer, they were missing the quality of the design. And if you think about it, it is the same thing as this video. If I would have showed you these ideas just by writing them on a whiteboard without any animation, any voiceover or background sound, the video would not be the same and the impact would have been a lot smaller. So you need to think in the same way as Jobs did about your product. How is it packed, how it looks like, even how it smells. So the little details matter. Even if we haven't noticed before, Steve Jobs taught us about branding. He was focused on the simplicity of things. Apple was the brand and he was the brand. Dressing with the same outfit during his presentations had a major impact. What he was doing, he was basically hitting two birds with one stone. Jobs was saving his willpower by not having to worry about what he's going to wear next, and also transforming himself and Apple into a brand. You don't need to know how to play an instrument in order to play the orchestra. In this 2015 Steve Jobs movie, there is this scene happening between Steve Wozniak and Jobs. And I don't know if the scene was real, but the concept really applies. Wozniak said, "You can't write code, you are not an engineer, you are not a designer, you can't put a hammer to a nail. So how come 10 times a day I read, Steve Jobs is a genius? What do you do?" And the answer is, I play the orchestra. So Steve Jobs knew how to stimulate the creativity in other people and how to motivate them. If someone said something like, "This isn't possible, this cannot be achieved," he would throw him out of the room. So what I think we should really take away from Steve Jobs, it's not the stuff about his life or about his personality or legacy, but the idea that we should always think big and never ever stop dreaming.